Hello and welcome to the Emerge Leadership Connection, where we connect you with the ideas and concepts to unlock legendary leadership so you can emerge and become who you were meant to be. I'm your host, Cody Dakota, and on this fantastic Friday, I will be your leadership coach, teacher, and mentor. On today's episode, we will talk about Mark Twain's thoughts on disappointment, courage, exploration, and dreams. If this is your first time listening to the Emerge Leadership Connection, stop immediately and go back to episode 0. If you want to get the full benefits that this podcast has to offer and emerge into who you were meant to be at a faster pace, then you will want to go back to that episode to understand the theory behind how each episode is designed to help you improve. Before we start the episode, I'd like to thank our supporters who allow us to continue to bring value to you, while also allowing us to support amazing causes that will impact our future generations. If you would like to find out more about the causes we support, as well as how to become a member of our family and help us reach more people in order to impact our future, please go to www.emergeleadership.club, where you can check out all of our episodes, including many supporter-only episodes, as well as get access to other exclusive member-only benefits. Again, that is www.emergeleadership.club to get that access and officially join our family. Also, while you're there, you should click the menu button and click on Books. My book, Legendary Leadership: How to Obtain Repeatable Monumental Results, is currently in the running for the Extraordinarian Award for Coaches, with ideas that can change people, businesses, and the future for the better. And I need your help to win the award. You will see some awesome benefits that you can get for supporting the book, including personalized signed copies by me, a chance to get a limited edition, legendary edition of the book, appearances on this podcast, and more. Remember, go to www.emergeleadership.club to check it out. Now, on to the show. Today's words of wisdom come from Mark Twain, who said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. What I love about this quote is it really is the starting point. When you have a dream and you're getting ready to set off, it can be a really scary experience because you don't know what is out there. When you look at sailors in general, especially back in the time of Mark Twain, where we hadn't mastered most of the world, you're talking about going on the ocean where if you get one thing wrong, you may end up never seeing home again, never seeing land again. And you run out of food supplies, all's over. If you look in our modern day and age, the next kind of frontier would be space, right? Think about how terrifying that could be. Setting off in a ship out in the middle of the vast blackness that exists, and all your fuel runs out. So you're just floating through space, hoping that one day you end up somewhere. That's the kind of terror that we can be faced with. And we face a much lesser version of that in our lives. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a leader, whatever it is, we all have that ocean that we have in front of us that is scary and terrifying. It might be speaking on stage. It might be having certain conversations with people that we actually enjoy. It could be having a conversation with our own boss, whatever it is, we all have that. But if we're going to emerge and become who it is that we were meant to be, what we can't do is look back on what we could have done and not do it. We need to instead just go and do it. whatever it is, no matter how terrifying it is. It's time for us to stand up and have courage, because if you don't do it, like Mark Twain says, you're going to be far more disappointed than if you do it and fail. And this is the other thing. If you want to make it anywhere in life, you're going to have to fail. So many people are terrified of the concept of failure. And it's something that a lot of us face from coming out of school. We come from families and teachers who taught us that, hey, if you don't get an A, you're basically a failure. And that's not true. In life, that's not true. You don't have to be, the valedictorian of your class to succeed in life. You don't have to be the person with the best product to succeed in business. You don't have to be the best person at any subject to become a leader. You don't have to be the master of it, but you do need to have courage. Without courage, you really can't go anywhere. And so Mark Twain says, go have courage. So start by throwing off the bowlines. Whatever is keeping you attached to the land, let's take it off. If you need to go chase your dreams, sail away from the safe harbor. It's a scary place to go away from safe harbor, but that is where adventure begins. That is where excitement is. That is where we find ourselves. Catch the trade winds in your sail. One thing here that I don't think a lot of people catch is that when we actually begin to go out on our journey, a lot of times we begin to put pieces together. So many times people are afraid to move forward because they're afraid that they don't have the perfect plan, right? It would be like waiting to set sail until all the wind is perfect. And a lot of times you don't find the best winds to get you where you want to go until you're already out in the middle of water. You're not going to find it when you're attached to shore. And just like that, whenever we are moving forward in life, opportunities come towards us as we move towards where we want to go. But you have to start the movement. If you're just standing still, you'll probably never see those opportunities. And then in 20 years from now, you'll be disappointed because you didn't even attempt to leave the land, because you were so afraid that the winds out on the sea wouldn't take you where you're going. And then Mark Twain gets into his last three pieces. Explore. If we're going to emerge and become who we were meant to be, we can't stay in one location. We can't be the same person. We have to explore. We have to explore what exists in the world that we can go and take hold of. Who are we? We have to explore what it means to be you and me. I have to ask myself, what does it mean to be Cody? That's something I've asked myself many times, and it's something I'm still working on discovering, and I'll probably be working on discovering till I die, because we are such complex beings that there's so much to discover, and far more than I think we're even capable of discovering. But the more you're able to discover, the more you explore yourself, the better life gets overall. So that's something you have to ask yourself. Who are you? And then dream. That is something that so many of us forget to do, that so many of us have abandoned doing even. And I think that's a travesty. I think that dreams are one of the most powerful things that we can do. It's about creating a future that doesn't exist today. And that is what separates us from anything else in this world. I mean, look in the wild, right? Lions is a typical example, the king of the jungle, right? And yet they can't build societies that last for generations. They can't create a society that lasts over 100 years. They can't even create a society that lasts over a decade, because they don't dream. They worry about surviving day to day. Dreaming is something that mankind has the power to do, and so many of us don't utilize it. We hail the people who do have dreams. I've said it in a previous podcast. Martin Luther King Jr. had a gigantic dream. That's why people remember him. But it wasn't just Martin Luther King Jr. Go to Abraham Lincoln. Go to George Washington. And there are so many large dreamers that have existed and exist today too. And we hail all these people as heroes, like they're so far above all of us, and it's just not true. You have the same powers that they do. The only thing that separates you from them is the fact that they've decided to dream big. They've decided to move forward in courage. And there's nothing that's stopping you from doing the same. The only thing in your way is you. So, let's get into our coaching questions for the day. Where do you want to be in 20 years? What do you want to have accomplished? What are some things you're not doing now that you know you'll regret in 20 years if you decide never to do them? Where can you throw off the bowlines in your life so that you can set sail? What safe harbor are you currently in that's protecting you from being able to explore the world? What opportunities are you afraid don't exist? Where could you find the opportunities in the world if you just began? Where do you want to explore, and where do you need to explore? How big can you dream? What is it that you want to discover? Welcome back and congratulations. You are one step closer to becoming who you were meant to be. I'm excited to hear about the fantastic takeaways you got from this episode. I'd love to hear from you, so go over to www.emergeleadership.club right now and click on the tab to see how to contact us, as well as our other amazing services. While you're there, if you would like to emerge into who you were meant to be even faster, then you'll want to officially join our family by clicking on the Become a Patron button, where you can gain access to exclusive member-only content that is absolutely amazing, including access to supporter-only podcasts, Q&A sessions directly with me, and the ability to get shout-outs on future episodes, all while also helping to support some amazing causes which are actively working towards improving the future for generations to come. Just to make sure that you got it all, to join our family and get access to this exclusive member-only content and help some amazing causes at the same time, go over to www.emergeleadership.club and click on the Become a Patron button right now. I'm your host, Cody, and I'm honored to have spent this time with you today. my final message for you today, and listen closely. It's time. Wake up your potential. Let go of your fears and anxieties, and let's discover what is possible. Emerge and become who you were meant to be.